you check my previous video, I was about to make the video and suddenly the whole place, black clouds came in and coconuts, from the trees started to fall and branches were falling. See, branches were falling and you can see, yeah, all of a sudden it looked like there was going to be a storm. So, common sense has it that I was like, okay, don't want to risk anything. You can check the previous video. You'll see actually one branch fall. This one fell down and something fell down there and then something fell down there. And I was like, oh, time to go in. And especially if it rains, then the GoPro can take a video in the rain, but the audio will get affected because water blocks that area where the sound comes in. Anyway, waited 1.5 hours, had a shower. I want to complete my quota for the day, the number of videos. So anyway, in this video, I want to share with you something which I normally tend to do, and I have a feeling that people who are successful in their careers or people who have a little bit of self-awareness or insight, they tend to do it. And that is think. Now I know you might think like, yeah, I think, because I'm thinking now, thinking of thoughts, and we are thinking, no, not that kind of thinking. I'm talking about dedicating a time where there's absolutely no noise, no disturbance, nothing, and just you alone, not even music, and having a notepad and a pen or a pencil and just thinking. Obviously, you need to have an agenda. You can't just sit and think nothing. I'm not talking of meditation. I'm not talking of sleeping. I'm not talking of getting into the zone or something. Like I'll give you an example to make you understand. Yesterday, or rather early morning, that was around I think 2 o'clock. I was feeling very tired, so obviously when I'm tired I can't work, can't do anything. My body just switches off. So I had gone to sleep at around, I think 8ish. My wife was like, you're going to sleep? I said, yeah, I'm just tired. So I crashed. And then obviously my eyes woke up at around, I think 1:15 or something. I was just lying down. Then I took my smartphone, any important messages, clients, anything. Following that, I just lay there. I was like, okay, do I feel sleepy, not sleepy? I realized, okay, sleep is not going to come. So instead of struggling and tossing and turning to sleep, I decided to get up. I requested my wife, who was in the other room. She was lying down and holding the baby, and she was just checking the phone, and the baby she's breastfeeding the baby. I said, when you just finished, could you make coffee? She's like, okay. The baby was sleeping, so she went and made coffee, and I sat down. So she made my coffee and espresso, and I told her just make a sandwich or something. So she made that and peanut butter jelly, like that, peanut butter, jam strawberry, and a little bit of cheese, the soft. So 2 on toast, and she went out. So she doesn't disturb me, and 2 o'clock in the night, obviously there's no sound, there's nothing. So I sat down, kept my notepad, pen, pencil. iMac was on, And I didn't put any music, nothing. And what I did was, I just decided to think of topics that I want to talk about. I put the heading as topics. And then obviously topics, then I asked myself, okay, what topics do I want to speak about? See, why I'm giving you the thought process is so that you gain some clarity. Now, if I put topics, I put at the top topics, I can talk about anything. Okay, the green grass, or my neighbor's pet dog, or so those are not the topics which I want to talk about, or which the audience, my target audience likes. So obviously I need to focus, narrow down on what I'm an expert in, and yes, what the audience wants. Because if I start putting, let's say, painting my fingernails, might be something new, but my target audience who's intelligent will be like, and I don't want to fucking watch you paint your toenails or talk about your toenails. So I divided it into, one is UAE, which is my core market, Middle East, UAE and Middle East news, people like to know about it. So I give my analysis, thoughts, predictions. Then my business, where my money comes, is personal branding. So I put the second title, personal branding. Third one is general. I sometimes like to share my thoughts and feelings, and okay, so I put general, personal. And last I put, there are certain specific topics audience members like. Can be money, can be success, general topics that people tend to like, peak performance. So I divided them into four headings. And I told myself, okay, I'll brainstorm and I'll think 5 topics for each. So total of 20. Okay, 5. At first, nothing was coming. I was like blank. I was writing, scribbling. Nothing was coming. I was like, okay, sitting down, sipping a coffee. There's a tendency to put on, open a browser and listen to some music, but I resisted it. And that's very important when you're thinking. Don't let your mind go somewhere else and listen to something. Because then what happens is, then you're busy doing something else. But there's a variation, and I'll tell you when do I do this. Okay. So I just sat down, still doing nothing, thinking, nothing was coming. I think 15 minutes went by, half an hour went by, nothing was coming. Finally, I just thought, okay, just put a number. I wrote down a number, and as I wrote down the number, a thought came. Okay, 5 things for this, and okay, then I thought, okay, 5 things for that, and 5 tips for this, and 5 strategies, 5 do's and don'ts, and that became a topic. So I wrote down, but I still didn't fit it anywhere. So, I wrote it down. And then, see, the whole exercise is, when you're thinking, just let it flow. Maybe your unconscious mind is trying to tell you something. So I wrote it down, and nothing was making sense. And remember what I told you. Sometimes your mind is pushing you, listen to music and relax. But no. So what I decided is, okay, now that I'm in a mental block, since by the time I think 45 minutes or almost an hour was finished, so let me check news headlines. Now the benefit of news headlines is they always come out with creative topics that stick. So I went to different news media outlets, checked what were the headlines. Anything that jumped out, I just wrote down. So right now on my paper, all I'm doing is thinking, putting thoughts. Nothing is making sense. Just wrote down. So as I was going, letting the process flow. After, I think, nearly 2 hours, still nothing happened. I'm still thinking. So finally what I decided, okay, time to take a break. I just went for a walk, looked outside. It was totally dark. Then just thought, open the fridge, and okay, wanted to see what I'll eat. Nothing was there. So I came back, sat down. And I thought, okay, I'll take a break and just relax. So checking YouTube and all that. See, this is the part where you need to detach yourself so that you don't get stuck. Sometimes when you're stuck, you need to detach. 15-20 minutes. Okay. Then I went back into the thinking mode. And this time I just saw the paper and I saw all these ideas written. So automatically I started, okay, this point, how can I connect it to UAE or the Middle East? This one, how can I connect it to personal branding? And as I was writing down, a structure started to come into place. I filled all the 4 areas. And this I transferred to my Google Doc. And still, nothing is making sense. It didn't look very polished. But here, the whole exercise that I did was just thinking, letting thoughts flow. Because it's very important to know which direction you're headed. Now, if you actually look at it, I didn't achieve any perfection. I didn't achieve any wow, the breakthrough, or it didn't come out as a revolutionary idea. Right now in my Google Doc, those thoughts are kept. 4 topics, 5 points each, plus whatever I scribbled and okay. Now it'll remain there. It's a dedicated Google Doc. Now I'll be looking at it whenever I'm free. I'll be looking at it here and there and just checking it out and seeing, does it make sense? Is it forming into something? Now you'll be surprised to know eventually that same document with those thoughts, maybe all the ideas will prove nothing great, not a good topic. But out of all those thoughts that I put there, something will jump out. Something will jump out and that becomes a really good topic. And sometimes that topic in itself results in me getting a new contact, a new connection, a new friend, someone new. Now, why am I sharing this with you? Why am I sharing this whole experience or this exercise with you? We go through life just being busy, get up in the morning and have food and dress up, go to work, do the work and come back. And, obviously they'll have a goal, a vision, a agenda. Then we come back driving home, then we get fresh and then we go to the gym or watch a movie and go to sleep and, the day is over. And then next day you do it again. We do this 5 days a week or 6 days a week, and then one day, which is rest, we take the family, we go out shopping, grocery. So you become more like a, so fucking irritating, man. And that also he drove very close to me. Jackass. So, we don't sometimes use our minds and think. And why this is important is sometimes you'll get an idea or a concept or something that will really be a maybe money spinner, or it will be something that really positively impacts you, or you discover something new. Most of my really amazing ideas that I've got, money-making ideas, have come through this method. Now, that doesn't mean if you do it today, let's say tonight you do it, you're going to come out with something wow. Or if you do it 10 times, maybe nothing will come out in the first initial phases. But eventually, as you keep doing it now, you will one day come out with something very strong. That that will really, it'll make a difference to you. It'll make a positive difference. So through this whole video, if I could give you something worthwhile, it would be, I think we all need to sit down and sometimes think. No noise, no disturbance, no interaction, no stimulation of senses. Even half an hour, even 15 minutes, whatever. Spend some time and think. Just switch off. And you will be amazed what you come up with at some point. I've been doing this from the age of, I think, 16 or something. I used to always think and write down and jot down my ideas, and eventually you come up with something worthwhile. So try this idea. I don't know if you already do it. If you do it, please share with me your experience. Write down comments below. How is your experience being? Do you do something differently? Do you dedicate a whole day, or you go to a coffee shop, or is it like I sometimes go to a coffee shop which is alone, but my favorite one is getting up in the night, and when it's quiet, the whole world is sleeping. That's the best time. So let me know your thoughts. Do you do this? And what are your thoughts? What has been your experience? I'd like to know your thoughts in the comment section below. All right, you guys take care. This is me signing off. Ciao.